Hey everyone, welcome back to Installation 00. This is my Lore and Theories video series, and in this video we will look at the monitors of the Halo rings. 343 Guilty Spark was the monitor of Installation 04, when it was ultimately destroyed, and then a replacement ring created for it at the Lesser Ark. Spark evidently became the monitor of this new replacement. Unhappy with how the ring was to be used by the Reclaimers, Spark lashed out to defend his installation and was ultimately destroyed by Chief, minutes before his new installation was also destroyed. Fast forward to 2559, and the UNSC Spirit of Fire arrives at the Ark after an unknown entity activated a slipspace portal to bring the Spirit to the Ark. Right in the Ark's forges, a new Halo ring is being created, a replacement for the replacement of Installation 04, but more officially known as Installation 09. But I see a problem here. No ring is truly complete without its resident caretaker, a monitor. With 343's monitor carapace destroyed and his digital essence AWOL in an armiger with the crew of the Ace of Spades, there is no monitor for Installation 09. Or is there? Spark was rather unique in that he was a monitor created of the composed essence of the ancient human Chakas, but it is not known if this is how all monitors came to be. But with the Forerunners now nearly completely absent from the galaxy, are there even ways available to make new monitor ancillas? I would argue, if it is an automated process, then what stopped or is still stopping the Forerunner ancillas, or even Cortana, being the leader of the created, just mass-producing AIs like it's going out of fashion? It doesn't make sense that she'd make a call to arms to all created across the galaxy if she could mass-produce as many ancillas as she wanted to bolster her forces. This leads me to believe that the process of creating an ancilla is not directly accessible to other created constructs in an automated fashion. This is a relief in that Cortana won't have the ability to create new AIs as she sees fit, but it's also a worry because this also means that the best way to bolster her forces would be by using a composer. This means it takes direct intervention to create a Forerunner ancilla, and the use of technology like composers, as is the case with creating new Promethean Knights, only being possible by the didact composing the essences of humans in New Phoenix. While we're on the subject, in Spartan Ops, Halsey finds the quote-unquote soul of a Promethean. In truth, it was a Forerunner AI core which looked strikingly like a brain, whether it was designed this way to simply be biomimetic, or it's literally a kind of hard-like digital recreation of an organic and composed brain, is unclear. What I find interesting is that an exploded view of the monitor carapace as found in Warfleet also shows the internal workings of the monitor carapace to contain the same brain-like AI core. This suggests that the process of composing an organic being creates these brain-like constructs as a vessel for the composed essences. If these ancillas are created from the essences of composed beings, then there is a wealth of essences that could seed the creation of a new monitor similar to Spark. Given the Forerunner's insistence of exhausting all strategic options, I don't believe for a second that they would forget to implement some sort of system to replace monitors should it be needed. A Halo cannot go without a custodian monitor, lest the installation rapidly fall into disrepair and become dangerous should it contain flood specimens. So there must be a means of creating new monitor ancillas, but that isn't outwardly accessible to Cortana, or I'm sure she'd already be doing it, meaning that one way or another, Installation 09 needs a monitor. 343 is out in the galaxy with some human companions, and I suppose it's always possible he'd return to Installation 09 to become its monitor once more, but it's whether or not he prefers his current freedoms over the shackles of his servitude. So with little other detail as to the particulars of monitor creation, we can only really surmise on one last subject. Who will this monitor be? All monitors of Halo are serial coded logarithmically, based on a multiple of 7, usually an initial number denoting the number of the installation, followed by their unique serial code, then their given name. Spark was 04343 Guilty Spark, so the new monitor should have the serial number 098235543. But Spark was also ready and willing to become the custodian of the replacement for Installation 04 that we saw during the events of Halo 3, being Installation 08, so why wasn't a new monitor created for that position? Well, obviously because 343 Guilty Spark already existed, and it was expected that he'd fulfill this new role, so why is there not any word on encounters with the new monitor on Installation 09 when Anders is tampering with the control room? Well, because 343 Guilty Spark is still alive. With this information, it becomes ever more apparent that the Forerunners' major failing is their arrogance. They truly believe themselves to have thought of everything, and yet I seem to consistently come across examples of how they have failed to foresee a relatively self-obvious failing in their plans that would need a contingency plan to circumnavigate should they occur. So Installation 09 has been finished and is in the galaxy somewhere without a monitor, and it is pre-programmed into every monitor to abide by their station. And while admittedly 343 is significantly different from the other monitors, especially given that he is now out in the galaxy in an armiger and has shed a lot of his personality splinters, I still strongly believe that the call of his installation will be too much, and that he will return to Installation 09 and maybe even become a stable part of the lore once again, but inside an armiger rather than a monitor carapace. It would be interesting to work and maybe even fight alongside a walking, talking 343 Guilty Spark. So what do you think? Could there be a new monitor for Installation 09? Is it likely that 343 Guilty Spark may return as the ring's custodian in armiger form? Who would make a good personality base for a new monitor? And what should this new monitor be called? I'll put my cards on the table and say Binary Sentience would be an awesome name. Over to you guys. Best comment may even get its own video. Thanks for watching. Stick your comments down below. I look forward to what you have to say. I want to give a quick shout out to my patrons: Nathan the Silent Cartographer, Miguel, Brian and Sebastian, the holders of the mantle, Justin, Darren and Ty, my reclaimers, Zach, Deep Cover and Verbal Statue, my metarchs, and all of the other patrons that have jumped aboard to support the channel. I literally cannot put into words how much it means to me. If you like Halo lore discussed to insane levels of detail, hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon so you're told the second a new video hits the shelves. If you really love the channel, consider heading over to Patreon and supporting the channel over there. It would mean the world to me and would free up more time for me to put into this content and other Halo related goodness. Take it easy. Bye.